There is one stock that is about to skyrocket. It had $11 billion in revenue, up 5%. Excuse me. They are a life sciences company. The ticker is TMO, Thermo Fisher, and they have strong recurring revenue. They continue to sell their reagents, their solutions to labs, and you can imagine governments who are working on biotech projects, hopefully for the better, continue to reorder. So this is kind of the picks and shovels for healthcare. They also have a partnership with OpenAI where they're using their APIs in order to speed up clinical trial times, so decrease the time between trials, and also help with filtering candidates for those trials. So AI does well with that, looking at characteristics of people who might be a good fit for a candidate and quickly coming up with recommendations on who could be a good qualified candidate. So Thermo Fisher is the company. They move very slowly, 2 to 3% a day. That's why a 5% revenue growth is good for a large company. So hundreds of billions in market cap. Let's jump into why this company is well positioned right now. Money's flowing out of big tech and into healthcare. It's not financial advice, but hopes it helps.
This is Sam Putnam.
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 All right, so this is Thermo Fisher. This is the market cap, 175 billion. Annual revenue exceeds 25 billion. They have a bunch of different customer segments. The big ones being government and labs. And this is the OpenAI partnership. So Thermo Fisher has all the data, right? And this is the real moat. Startups have to license that data from big pharma companies like Thermo Fisher. I don't know if they would call themselves a pharma company. They're a life sciences tool company. But they're a great candidate for ChatGPT, the enterprise version. Drug development is going to use a lot of tokens for sure. And that's sort of a longer term growth play. But if they can just make clinical trials faster, that turns into faster drug development, not necessarily using the AI to test all the different molecule types and come up with a new drug. It just saves them money on R&D in general and automates some of the boring boilerplate documentation. So it's kind of like how we use LLMs as a consumer on ChatGPT is how they're using it. But this is a step for sure. And they do have this longer term play, which is more in the drug development direction to use AI to predict how drugs are going to behave, making drug development faster. So they says that they are saving 25 to 60%, which is a big savings just on documentation that you can imagine any time of life sciences or healthcare company needs to document a lot to be compliant with FDA and with HIPAA and everything like that. So it's actually a good move for OpenAI as well to show that they can operate in a very secure environment. That's the OpenAI collaboration. OpenAI has a lot of collaborations, so I'm not going to say that the stock price is too hinging on that, but it's a nice, at least, proof that they're trying to grow because they're such a big old company. 11 billion in revenue, up 5% from a year ago. And if we look at the actual chart, they're a slow mover, 2% a day right now over the last 10 days. Of course, they've gone sideways for a good period of that. But this is the recent earnings. The earnings per share was a slight beat on earnings alone. And then they held, interestingly, while the market sold off. And we can see that crystal clear. Although small caps are starting to have a little bounce, possibly. We'll see how that holds up or if it does hold up. The SPY is pretty ugly. This bounce on Friday barely got us much above this 1010 rare earths China Trump low. So now the question is, where's the money flowing? And the money seems to be flowing into these life science healthcare companies. We can see that in the healthcare ETF and in the pharmaceuticals ETF. These numbers aren't crazy, like 3% year over year organic revenue growth. But all of their business divisions are growing: life sciences, instruments, especially diagnostics, maybe in home or urgent care. And then their lab products and services are also up. So everything seems to be very strong and recurring. And you can imagine, like, if a lab starts using Thermo Fisher, whether it's a commercial or a research lab, they're just going to keep ordering from them. It's kind of like having a, LL Bean, or like a, whatever it is. I can't think of a men's clothing catalog, but I guess LL Bean is good enough. You just keep using whatever you already use to order your product. So they're a massive company, and they had this beat on revenue as well as earnings per share that we just saw. Margin increased. This isn't a super exciting company. It's not, the next quantum company. It's not the next, 23andMe. But I think that's actually a good thing in terms of investing right now. You want to be really careful. Here's some similar companies that you're probably aware of. Agilent is another slow moving one that seems to be holding up. I think they make scientific calculators as well, but they also make the lab tools or microscopes or anything like that. So they do have earnings coming up tomorrow at the end of the day. But here's the play. If Thermo Fisher, here's really the backdrop. We just saw futures gap up this weekend. So if Thermo Fisher gaps up to like here, you could just buy it on a breakout with a close stop out. And if it fails off the open, then you just sell it, right? Or by the end of the day, you sell it, whatever your schedule entails. But if you want to be a little bit more discerning or careful, maybe you just don't touch it for like a week. And then if it holds up, then you have an even better opportunity. Because see how it went sideways for a week and then moved, sideways for a week and then moved? That's probably slightly more likely. So that is a way to play it instead of just buying the breakout. Although people like to buy on Mondays, and stocks tend to move on Mondays because people get excited. They're all pent up from the weekend. And I think that's could be the case for their sister company DHR as well. So that's the idea. If you like these ideas, hit that like. If you want a free course on how to buy stocks before they go up, hit that subscribe. And if you want help in a Discord membership, head over to stockscommunity.com. You can see some testimonials on that page.
This is Sam Putnam. This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.
This is Sam Putnam.